Welcome to English Learning Through Story. Desire and Love. Part 5. A Love Story. Habun was sitting outside, her mind echoing with his sweet words, his smile engraved deeply in her heart. Tears kept flowing from her eyes, while the people around her stood beside her, offering advice and praying for Hannah. After some time, the doctor in charge came out. Shocked, she quickly rushed toward him and asked, "Doctor, how is he now?" He replied, "He is stable, but he suffered a severe injury and lost a lot of blood. We urgently need someone with blood type O+4 transfusion." "Take mine," she said immediately, but unfortunately, their blood types didn't match. In panic, she quickly called a close male relative and told him that her friend's brother had been in a serious accident. The young man came and donated the blood. Hannah survived and slowly regained consciousness. The last thing he remembered was Habun standing beside him, smiling gently and holding his hand, whispering, "Good night, my love." Now he opened his eyes to find her standing over him again, her face filled with deep sorrow. He found himself lying on a hospital bed, feeling pain all over his body, struggling to speak. He was then informed that he had been in an accident but had survived. Habun, now calmer than before and relieved from the shock, went outside and bought many nutritious drinks to help restore his strength. She stayed with him all night. Sometimes she supported his neck and fed him milk. Other times she called the doctor. Whatever he needed, she was there. Whenever he said, "Ah," in pain, it felt as if she herself was hurting. Her compassion was endless. Sitting on the chair beside his bed, dawn broke without her closing her eyes even once. Day and night, she remained by his side, caring for him so devotedly that some people thought she was one of the hospital nurses. She slept briefly during the day and stayed with him all night to keep him company. Back in her neighborhood, she told people she was helping a friend whose brother had been injured in an accident. After several days, Hannah recovered well. The doctors informed them that he could be discharged, as he only needed care and rest now. The costs of treatment and medication were calculated, and they were told to pay the bill and take him home. Hannah came from a very poor family that had never been able to afford such an amount. They lived in a small village outside the city. At that moment, the only person with him was Habun. Habun felt trapped. There was nowhere she could leave him. Abandoning someone who depended entirely on her was unthinkable. She was exhausted from caring for him, yet now a large sum of money was required, which she didn't have, and there was no one else to pay it. In the end, she decided to sell the gold jewelry she owned, which was kept in her mother's box, in order to pay the hospital fees for the man she loved. She was deeply worried. Selling her gold for a man she was not married to, whose future was uncertain, was frightening. Yet she encouraged herself, saying, "He was injured because of you. He is poor. Helping him for the sake of Allah will never go unrewarded." She convinced herself to sell part of the gold and keep the rest, so the neighbors would not find out. Habun went to the gold market, but unfortunately, the amount she needed was more than what the gold could cover. She then asked a close friend for a loan, but the friend apologized and was unable to help. What, then, will be the reward of a man for whom so much sacrifice is being made? Stay tuned for the next part. To fully understand the essence of this story, please revisit the earlier parts one previously shared.